Level A2 Elementary. The bystander effect. Why a crowd of people will never help one person. Psychologists say that the more people witness an incident, the less likely it is that the victim will receive help. It might seem like the opposite should happen, but the facts are clear, and scientists have explained why this happens. The name of the victim as a new term. As American psychologist David Myers writes in his book Social Psychology, an intensive course, the bystander effect or Genovese syndrome, is a psychological phenomenon where a person is less likely to help someone when other witnesses are present. This phenomenon was first described by John Darley from New York University and Bibb Latané from Columbia University in 1968. The concept was inspired by a tragedy that happened in the United States 4 years earlier. According to Dennis Gentleman in his book Business Ethics, a psychological investigation of corporate scandals, on March 13, 1964, in New York, Kitty Genovese was killed in front of many witnesses. The girl called for help, and lights turned on in several windows facing the street. At first, the attacker ran away, but when he realized no one was coming to stop him, he returned to the victim. Later, it was discovered that at least 40 people watched the attack, but none of them came to her aid. Even the police were called only an hour after the murder. Fears and plans. However, according to Yevgeny Lean, the author of The Psychology of Help, Altruism, Egoism, Empathy, research over more than 25 years has shown that the Genovese syndrome appears not only in criminal situations, but in all emergencies. Lean believes that this behavior does not mean witnesses are indifferent. Rather, they are guided by fear. For example, Lean refers to a scene from Vasily Grossman's novel Life and Fate, where a prisoner is killed in a barrack full of people. No one stood up for the victim. Most pretended to be asleep. In addition to fear, David Myers notes that people are paralyzed by the inability to see the consequences of their intervention. As Marcus Weeks writes in his book Psychology in 5 Minutes, witnesses need time to assess the situation, decide if it's truly an emergency, consider their personal responsibility, and plan their actions. By the way, Darley and Latané found that disabled and elderly people are more likely to receive help, while those under the influence of alcohol are less likely to be helped. The real reason for the effect. Most psychologists agree that the main cause of the bystander effect is not fear or the ability to make plans, but simply shifting responsibility to others. According to Paul Kleinman, the author of Psychology, People, Concepts, Experiments, each witness assumes that someone else will help the victim, or is already doing so, like calling the police. Kleinman compares this phenomenon to social loafing, with the difference that in the Genovese syndrome, no one takes initiative because they believe others will. It's important to note that the bystander effect is purely a group phenomenon. According to psychologists, as the number of witnesses increases, the motivation to help decreases. In other words, the more people there are, the less likely it is that someone will receive help. On the other hand, the fewer witnesses, the more likely the victim will be helped. For example, Kleinman notes that 1 of 2 witnesses will likely help someone in need. Vocabulary. Bystander effect. When people are less likely to help if others are present. Witness. Someone who sees an event happen. Victim. Someone who is hurt or harmed. Responsibility. The duty to take care of something. Fear. A feeling of being scared. Emergency. A serious situation that needs immediate action. Social loafing. When people work less in a group because others are working. Motivation. The reason for doing something. Indifferent, not caring about something. Initiative. The ability to take action without being told. Quiz. Consolidate vocabulary. Witness. A. Someone who helps in an emergency. B. Someone who sees an event happen. C. A type of fear. Someone who sees an event happen. Victim. A. Someone who helps others. B. Someone who is hurt or harmed. C. A type of responsibility. Someone who is hurt or harmed. Responsibility. A. The duty to take care of something. B. A feeling of being scared. C. A type of motivation. The duty to take care of something. Social loafing. A. When people work less in a group because others are working. B. When people help more in a group. C. A type of fear. When people work less in a group because others are working. Listen to the video again to consolidate the new words.